I didn't even check with Natalie if she was ready, so hopefully she is. Yeah, here she is. Go dog.
Oh my God.
Hi. Oh, let me just let the cat out because she's gonna moan otherwise. Come on. She just told me about myself. Right, hi.
I was gonna brush my hair, but clearly.
Look like I did. At least I put some clothes on. And some makeup, seeing as I cried it all off today. I think we've had a bit of a breakdown day.
I know, it's been a rough couple of days.
It is just a wild time, isn't it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, is it worse because you know what it's already going to be like? Do you know what I mean? Like last time we had no idea what was going to happen, and this time it's like.
I think sort of last time we made the most of it, didn't? Not that I'm not going to make the most of this time, but we just cracked on and we just kind of got on with it. Whereas this time, I'm just like, again, really?
Lily, this is not brushed. Lily's heckling me. Look at it. I think that last time was different because we'd just pulled out of our prep. So
yeah,
it was time to eat, like rest, eat. This weather was lovely. I was sunbathing out by the bins,
and now it's grey and miserable,
and we're on a diet. So
not doing it. It's supposed to be happy hour.
How long are you prepping for if you've started prep already?
A long time. Do you know what? I think what we initially decided to do was we were just going to do a sort of mini cut into December, have 2 weeks off over Christmas. Now that's going to be fucking pointless, isn't it? Have 2 weeks off over Christmas and then literally go for it come sort of January.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on now. I'm still on prep. It's only been a few days. Maybe that's why I'm miserable.
Yeah, that is it. I'm hungry, man. I fucked up. I've used all my fat calories and now I've got to eat like 80 grams of protein and I don't even know how much carbs. I think it might be 50 grams or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's 400 calories. What am I going to do? Eat two plain chicken breasts. That's my dinner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. For a potato.
Bit couscous. Yeah, see, I was meant to stay full steam ahead, surplus, my last couple of months of building, and then probably at the start of February, I'd start prep. Because obviously I just lean up so quick. I was aiming to do an April show. But who fucking knows now? So I'm doing a mini cut for the next 4 weeks. I'm miserable.
I think that's partly why I probably feel so shit, because obviously wanted to prep for April next year, but now I'm like, and I know people have continued to prep.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, you can do it through lockdown, but I'm the kind of, I know that I will not be bringing my best if I have to prep through lockdown. 4 weeks I can cope with. 4 weeks will be fine.
Yeah.
But I think any longer than that for the physique that I'm trying to achieve, no.
Yeah.
Like, and I know people will be like, oh, you can still do it. But
you can still do it, but as you said, you're going to be a substandard version of yourself. You just won't fulfill your potential, right? I can't compete next year if I had 6 months off the gym this year. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, exactly.
I'm really just frustrated about it all. I think because we live alone as well. Like, obviously you've got a child, but it's not really the same, is it? Yeah, and I'm actually stuck in the house. Did I just tell you I tested positive again yesterday?
Yeah.
So that's good, isn't it? Now I've got to self-isolate till Wednesday.
I don't understand. Like you said, if you hadn't have got another test, which most people
probably rolling around Asda, breathing on people, Going to
Bossing
Zone
on the
Gym
road.
because Zone is still open, and giving everyone the Rona.
Yeah, but that's probably what most people are doing because let's face it, most people aren't going to go and get a second test. They're going to wait until whenever their time's up and just go out.
So my time is meant to be up on Sunday, so surely I'd still have it on Sunday. I think that if it's so bad, this virus, that if you have tested positive, it should be a requirement that you test negative before you're released back out into the wild. But you don't. They just tell you 10 days, like 10 days from your test.
But none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense, and I think that's frustrating as well. Like we're all seeing the data and everything else, and it just nothing adds up.
No.
So I think that's starting to grind. Like that's starting to grind me down because I don't like being lied to.
Yeah. Well, Boris
and his mates are just lying.
Yeah. No, it's exactly true though, isn't it? You know when Dominic Cummings did the whole, I went for a drive to see if my eyesight was okay. That was the day that I was like, fuck this government. Like, how could you not fire him for that? He went for a drive because he couldn't see properly.
But it was the same with like Boris Johnson's dad not wearing a mask, and okay, might be exempt, fair enough, but surely, like, you know, he actually said that he didn't know it was a rule. Boris is your son. Surely you know. Every other fucker on the planet knows it's a rule.
Honestly.
And then the rule of 6 as well, and then you've got that other twatty MP who had a dinner party with 10 people. And I'm like, how come it's okay for you to have 10 people in your house, but I can't see my family?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Well, and luckily, we have bankrupted ourselves in previous lives because we've got gyms at home. So did you do your first session today?
Yeah, today. Yeah. Yesterday I took it as a rest day because I just wasn't. To be fair, I trained Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yesterday I just rested, and this morning I just sort of woke up and I took Ella to school, and then I was just like, I really can't be arsed. I had no excitement to train whatsoever. I even took some pre-workout, and that didn't even get me going. I was like, no, just no.
Pre-workout on your sofa.
Literally sat on my sofa in my pre-workout. And then I spoke to Claire. She gave me a bit of a pep talk. Still sat here for another half an hour after that, and then I sort of did a bit of a shoulder session. But it was just going through the motions.
I'm training legs tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got to do glutes and hams tomorrow.
That fucking piece of shit fake hack squat is back, isn't it? With the fucking roller behind your back against the wall with the dumbbell.
I can't. Honestly, I can't do it. I tried it last time and nearly killed myself.
It's awful. But I'm actually going to just do German volume training at home. So I'm just going to do 10 sets of 10 for every exercise I can do. And I've got a squat rack in my front room now. Got one in my garden, one in my room, like just in case.
Yeah, you've got the same stands that I've got. They're the ones that I've got in my living room.
I just thought they're good for like doing something at, say, I don't know, 70%. I'm not going to want to have my 1 rep max on my back and then put it on those fucking wonky, oh my God.
No, but I'm not going to say, That's what I was like last time. I was like, do a chance getting up to 100 kilos. I thought, oh, go on then, I'll give it a bash. And oh my God, mate, it was so scary.
See, I'm going to tempt
if I can't get back up, I am fucked.
If I've got someone here to train with me, I'll do it. You know, someone to help me put that bar back on, because I'm not gonna not see people this time. I'm gonna be selective, but there's gonna be a couple of people that will come around and train with me, I'm sure, because I've got the goods. Yeah. I'm like a child catcher, like, hello little boy, do you want to come and do some squats?
You've just got to do what you've got to do. Everyone's got to do now what they think is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And keep it on the down low.
Well, you're allowed to have a bubble, right? Support bubble.
Yeah.
Established relationship and childcare.
Yeah.
Shit, isn't it? Oh my God, my face. Yeah, I'm quite lucky actually. Zone Gym's not that far from here, so if they do stay open, So yeah,
I'm sure there are gyms around by me that are open, but to be honest, I haven't really looked into it. It's hard as well because obviously I've got Ella, so
yeah,
and when she's at school, I'm working.
yeah.
And then after school, obviously she's with me, so I can't very well take her to the gym with me. I would feel, could you imagine if the police turned up and I've got my child there?
Fucking hell. Imagine.
It'd be bad enough if I was on my own.
But then you've got your little 6-year-old doing burpees. She can do a better burpee than me, to be fair.
Mate, she can do them better than all of us.
I know. So what are your plans next year if you can prep effectively?
If I, well. So I was going to do the Fit Expo as a warm-up show.
Yeah.
Which is in April. And then after that, there is a show in Ireland, which is an IFBB pro qualifier. And that would mean I'd have to obviously do a regional first.
Well, maybe they'll still keep this year's rule in, because I'm hoping so. Because I don't want to do 2 bros, but I also want to do that NPC show in Ireland. They get a sword as well.
Well, to be fair, I have spoken to the show promoter, and he said that there are ways around it. I still don't know what those ways are.
It's muscle contest, right?
Yeah.
I also really want to do it.
So that's in the sort of, in my plan.
Mm-hmm. And worlds.
But we'll see. It's so hard to plan at the moment, isn't it? Because obviously Rona just ruins everything. So I don't want to get excited.
Yeah.
I was really excited. Like when me and Brett and Claire spoke about plans a few weeks ago, I was so motivated and so excited to start. And then it's like, and now you're locked down again.
I think this is where we have to just be disciplined, right? Instead of motivated and just tick it off. I'm going to just, as soon as I wake up, I'm going to do a Kate Errington HIIT workout, because she does the HIIT workouts every day for free on the live. She's so good. She's so high energy in the morning, and we all know what I'm like, especially doing cardio. But I do really want to work on my fitness level. So this 4 weeks, it's like fitness level and obviously polish up your form a little bit, because we don't really have the machines. So if it wasn't for the last lockdown, I wouldn't have such a good squat now, because I've only really started doing it in that lockdown.
I think that's true. Like you've got to do what you can as well. And the thing is, you can train effectively at home, and you work on, like you say, work on your form and stuff like that as well. So
I'm really going to try and work on actually activating that right glute. I don't feel it the same as the other one. So yeah, I've got to, I'm squeezing it right now, guys.
I like single leg hip thrusts are really good.
Yeah,
they really helped me, because I had a dodgy one glute at one point. Just one that wasn't active. I don't know what I did to it, but it just was one that wasn't activating. So I started doing like single leg hip thrusts, and they did actually really help.
I fucking hate hip thrusts, but that's my commitment to myself. I'm going to do them 3 times a week in lockdown.
Yeah, hip thrusts are amazing, to be fair. Amazing for your glutes.
I get so much like growth out of deadlifts for my glutes, even conventional, but I can't do conventional anymore. So yeah, I'm just gonna just do what I can. I'm gonna try and just smash it as much as I can. I didn't really have that approach last time.
No.
But I can't stop the progress now, just because Bojo thinks it's not important for us to be healthy.
That's what I had to think earlier. Like I was so ready to sit. Honestly, Ella's got a load of Freddos in the cupboard. I was sat here thinking, should I just go and smash all the Freddos? Fuck it.
See, I would have done it. You know what I'm like. I can't have that shit in the house.
I just sat here and I've stuck to my plan all day, and I did train. I trained shoulders like I was supposed to. Didn't have the best session, but I did it.
Do you know what I think? for lockdown, we've just got to treat it like a competition prep. And in a competition prep,
Yeah.
you just do it day by day, and you just tick those boxes for that day. And then the next, you wake up and it's the next one, and you can't think further ahead, right? Or you're not going to last.
No, and I think that's my problem. I'm thinking like, I don't really, I've never worked like thinking of just take one day at a time. I'm like, I'm like looking into the future. What am I going to do next week? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
And then I'm getting myself really worked up thinking, you know,
just calm down, love.
How am I going to train legs 3 times a week? Because I've got 3 leg days a week as well. So I'm like, obviously when you're in the gym, that would be so much easier because of, you know, you more variety. But now I'm like, how can I train 3 legs 3 times a week at home without just doing exactly the same shit every day?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that I know that's what you do anyway, but yeah, it's just hard. For some reason in my head, I'm like, 3 leg days at home is so much harder than 3 leg days in the gym.
Well, you just have to do more fucking reps as well. I hate more reps. I hate it. Training with Lily Anderson, she makes me do high reps anyway. And I'm literally like, bitch, I can't count to 15. And then she's like, no, I said 50. And I'm like, what?
That's what Brett says to me in training. I'll be like, I don't want to know a number. Don't give me a number.
I think honestly, training
and then he'll be like 50 more, and I'll be like, what?
Changed my approach to training, so I will work better at home than I did in the last lockdown because she's taught me to do higher reps and still the same weight. So you know, like most people, if they're up in the reps, they lower the weight. And she's like, bitch, no. You're going to do your working set, but you're going to do it 3 times more than usual. And it has changed my legs already in just a few weeks. So it's kind of good that I did that before lockdown. But it's really frustrating because we were making quite quick progress. And if I'd had the extra 4 weeks in the gym, I can't imagine what might have happened. But then you can't get caught up on that, right? You have just got to do your best today and keep doing it every day until hopefully, when is it? December the 2nd. So look, we don't even know. Oh yeah, it is 2nd. I've written it down with a big thing. It's a Wednesday.
Oh, great.
But I don't know if it finishes on the 2nd and we released on the 3rd, or if it's finished on the 1st and the 2nd is when we're out. But yes, midweek.
In all honesty, I don't think it's going to be 4 weeks. I think it's going to be more like next year.
I don't know. I did hear a rumour that it was going to be 16th of December, and then they were going to finish it for Christmas, and then look at starting again in January. Oh, yeah.
You know what? I don't understand why they just didn't carry on with the tier system. I was happy with that.
Even though you were in tier 3, weren't you?
Yeah, we were in the tier 3, yeah. And it was absolutely basically what I'm doing now, but I could just also go to the gym.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect.
I'll be sat at home, apart from the hour that I went to the gym.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only thing we need, right? To just give us some kind of semblance of normality. Help me sleep as well, because I trained hard. See people at the gym. That's like half my social life is in that building. That's sad, I know, but
and when you think about it, really, I spend most of my time now in my house. Like, I work from home. The only thing I did was go to the gym.
Yeah,
that literally is it. And now that's been taken from us.
Yeah,
it's just a bit of a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is what it is. We can't change it, like we said last time. We've just got to kind of
get on with
deal with it, but I can't.
Just got to get on with it, right? It's like Groundhog Day. But instead of it being the same workout every day, it's going to be a different one. I've actually had to sit down and think about what am I going to train on each day now, because usually I just fucking wing it. And now I'm like, no, you have to have some structure or you're not going to stick to it.
It's harder to wing it at home, so you kind of need to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down and do myself an actual proper plan.
Do you know what? I think it's really important to have a coach at this time, even if it is literally just someone to talk you out of your glumness, like us two earlier. Like, let's cancel the Instagram. But
honestly,
I don't usually check in the off season. I don't check in with Laura. She sees me on Instagram. That's my excuse. If I ever take her like anything in my bikini, I just tag her in. I'm like, there you go. But I'm actually going back to a weekly check-in while we're in lockdown, because it's the only thing that's going to keep me accountable is that.
Yeah. I just don't understand. Like, honestly, the way I felt earlier, I literally just felt like crying. I was just sat here feeling so glum.
I had to cry today.
And it's not like, I'm not like that though, like, ever really. Like, I have my days where I'm like, bullshit. But I'm fine.
Yeah.
But earlier, I could not snap myself out of it at all. And I was just sat here with a face on me, just feeling so fed up. And I was just like, I need to get out of this, like, this headspace. It's not good at all. But I think this time round, it's like the people that struggled last time are okay this time. And whereas we were quite positive I was quite positive last time. You were quite positive last time as well, weren't you?
I think so. It feels like so long ago. Time. Hi, Laura.
And now I think it's hit me harder this time. Last time I was fine, but I think it's funny
because I saw somebody do a post. I can't remember who it was, but it was one of our friends saying there's two types of people, and the first ones kind of smashed all their goals and all that productivity, and now they're tired and they've got like productivity fatigue, and then there's the other people that just moped around and didn't achieve much in lockdown number one, that are now like, fuck, I need to get my life together, and they're the ones that are like full steam ahead and doing it. And I think I was a mix of both. I got myself into a bit of a bad headspace about my birthday, but after my birthday I was fine. It's like I need that day to show me, actually, you've had a nice day, the weather was nice, I trained, I spoke to loads of my friends, I got absolutely inebriated on fucking Zoom, and my friends just watched me deteriorate into a puddle with a massive bottle of margarita. And then from that day, and that's another key thing though, I didn't drink that much in lockdown, which is unusual for me because I'm a bit of a pisshead. But I knew it's that next day when you feel miserable because you're hungover, and I had to kind of have some self-love there and say, don't do that to yourself, because
the next day when you're like questioning life.
And then also like that's when I feel lonely, when I'm hungover. I want someone to come and cook for me and stroke my head and tell me it's going to be okay, but don't touch me when I don't want you to. I'm a cat. But oh god, Midas is here. You're early today. He came right at the end yesterday. But I just think that it's a bit harder this time around because of the weather, because at least we could go for a walk in the park, and this time it's just a bit grey and miserable, and there's a lack of trust, I think, this time in the government, because I trusted that lockdown was the best thing to do last time, and now I look at the like figures and I'm like, hold on, this is not making sense. Like, we don't have the figures that support us all healthy people being locked away.
And I just think, like, and I know that people have been, if you've got COVID.
I've got the Rona.
And I know it's a thing, but the like, I just find it so bizarre that all these amount of people, they're springing off these numbers every day, like, so and there's X amount of numbers infected, blah blah blah. I don't really know anybody that's had it. I know everybody I speak to is like, oh yeah, my so and so's bloody auntie's granny's father's had it, but nobody really knows anybody that's actually had it.
I think there's only two bad cases that I've seen, and that was Saifan from Ultimate Fitness. He was obviously in intensive care, and then my friend who's got a lot of pre-existing health conditions, he also had to be hospitalized. But if anyone was going to get it bad, it was him, kind of thing, His lung collapsed after they sent him home, so he actually was in hospital twice. But everyone else that I know that has had it, including me, it just felt like a cold, but without the snot. Like, I feel like I've had a cold. And I haven't even had any of those symptoms that they say you need to have to be tested. I haven't had a single one. I just thought I was
No.
coming down with a cold, and the only reason I got tested is because I got track and trace on my phone that said you've been in contact with someone and you have to isolate for 10 days. And I thought, fuck this, I'm going to go get my negative result and I'm not isolating. And then I came home and the next day it was like, you've got coronavirus. And I was like, what? And then I was sure that yesterday's test was going to say I was negative today, and it still says positive, and I feel fine. I'm a bit tired, but then I haven't been getting any fresh air or any exercise, so I'm bound to be a bit sluggish.
I think that's how a lot of people that I have spoken to that have had it, or their family members have had it, they've said exactly the same. It's just been like a bit of a cold.
And you're knackered.
And you're tired. You're really
but
tired.
I'm tired, mate, because I'm 38. Like, am I tired because I'm 38 or because I haven't eaten a vegetable for a year, or the Rona? That's the good thing about being on a mini cut, is actually the quality of the food I'm eating is obviously much better because I've got to count my calories.
I've started eating vegetables again.
I know. Do you know what?
I
hate vegetables.
I think you get to that point. I got to that point in my off season where I was eating so much food that I didn't want to eat veg.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just too much, isn't it? I tried to eat quite low volume food this off season, because when we start prep, if you're a high volume person and then you get it halved, you're starving, right? And you're empty. So I just thought, let me be clever. Let me eat quite high calorie food so I don't ever feel full. I've stopped bloating doing that. And I don't think it'll be as bad. Like, today's the first day of my diet. I've gone from 3,000 calories to 1,700. And I'm not actually hungry. And I'm not empty. Because I've done... How many... Oh, my God, my Fitbit's dead. I haven't done any steps today. I've probably done less than 2,000 steps today. Because my flat's tiny. I don't have any stairs. But
exercise bike.
I've got an exercise bike, yeah. I've never used it. I might actually sell it. I'm going to do some steps in the living room afterwards.
Isn't sitting on your bike surely better than just walking around your living room?
I just prefer, do you know what? The bike fucks my knee up. Maybe I need to... I don't know. I hate it. I'm just going to make excuses. I'm going to sell it so that I've got some money to buy a kettlebell. Because we're still on that flex.
Oh, that massive kettlebell.
I've still got that.
The mother of all kettlebells. So only like, how heavy was it? 16 kilos? And it looks like it should be about 40 kilos.
And it's bigger than my head.
Funny.
Yeah, I've been doing Lily Anderson's training program. And a lot of it I can still do at home. So I'm quite scared. But I'm actually going to try. I'm even going to try, this is definitely going to end in tears, doing sumo squats, but not in the Smith. Just doing them with a bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should do them with the big kettlebell first.
I've got a massive I've got like a 40 kilo, I think it's 45 kilo dumbbell, just
what
one dumbbell.
And I'm doing with a 45 kilo dumbbell.
Oh,
so you were doing the HIIT workouts that you were doing last time. Are you going to do them again?
I'm not allowed to.
Oh.
Prep. So, yeah. No HIIT at the moment, so no. That was really fun, though. So if you're not on prep, do the Hannah Eden HIIT workout.
I'm going to write it down because I actually think I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a look.
I mean, they were hard. It was bizarre. It was so funny because in one of them, she's literally... I had like a pair of 5 kilo dumbbells and my shoulders were on fire.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious because you're in the gym and you're trying to push out the 20s and then you get these little 5 kilo dumbbells and everything's like time under tension. Oh my God, it's horrible.
It's literally funny, horrible. Isn't it, when you train in a different like discipline or a different rep range, how fucking hard it is.
Yeah, it was horrible. And a lot of people were like, oh, you shouldn't be doing HIIT because you're going to lose all your muscle. But I mean, I guess everyone's different.
It builds muscle.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, for me, it didn't... I actually looked better for it. So towards the beginning, I was literally just doing steady state cardio on my bike. And then we cut that out and I was doing HIIT 3 times a week.
Yeah.
and I actually look better for it. So, but I think I think it probably depends on how much muscle you've got to start with, how much food you're eating, etc. Like everything, but I really enjoyed it though as well. Like it was just different.
Yeah. I want to get fit as well as strong. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to just look good. I want to feel good too.
I think that's really important. Like I always say that in my off season. Like I don't just want to. So I try not to focus on how I look, even though that's the end goal.
Yeah.
We're trying to create a physique, but I just want to be strong and I want to be fit, and I don't want to just look strong, but then can't run for a bus, or not that I'm running anywhere at the moment, but you know what I mean. Get breathless walking up the stairs, or
yeah. Do you know what I found really interesting? So last lockdown, Christine Fox did she prepped for her shows, and she used running as her cardio, which is obviously usually nobody runs unless they're sprinting, and she was doing like I think 5K in the morning, and she looked incredible.
She does a lot of running. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Coming from a running background, I used to love running, but
I don't think I'd be able to run. If I was going to the gym, my joints would be too battered by the end of a prep to run. But she was training from home, right? So there's only so much you can do that's going to batter your joints. Because for me, that's the problem I have at the end of every prep is my joints feel like they've ground to dust. Because we've just done so many reps over the last 16 weeks. Like, especially because I'm trying to grow the pins.
I love sprinting. Absolutely love sprints.
Can you imagine me sprinting?
Towards the end of prep are just horrible.
I've tried it twice, and I've fallen off the back of the treadmill twice.
Really?
Oh my god! And I just can't. I just can't. But yeah, you just got to be a bit. I think this is the time to try and be a bit experimental and try things that you might enjoy, right? Like the hip workouts. I never thought I'd enjoy them. I did a couple with Kerry Sexton on Instagram Live. Do you remember? And I had to do it because everyone was watching me. And I actually really enjoyed it.
That's the thing that is enjoyable, and it's not like I was still training like I normally would. I'd still have my body part splits, but then for my cardio, I decided to do hip. It was better than sitting on a bike staring out the bloody living room window.
Yeah.
It was I'm all for the hit.
What do you think is like your absolute must-have exercises that you could never cut out?
Ooh, what for? Which body part are we talking?
Well, let's start with that ass.
Hip thrust. Hip thrusts, RDLs. I love RDLs. What else? I'm probably going to say squats, which is quite controversial because people will say, oh, squats aren't really a glute exercise, but...
Depends where you hold the bar.
Yeah, although I never... So when I first started training, my squat was awful, so I just didn't do them. So I mainly did hip thrusts and deadlifts, and that's how I've built my glutes. But my lower body as a whole has changed massively this year since squatting.
Yeah. I think squats has really changed the way I look since last lockdown.
Yeah. But not just my lower body though, either like my back, everything looks different.
Yeah. I'm just more stable and I've got better balance in my hips. And like at the first lockdown, my form was so bad because I hadn't done them for years. And then now, honestly, the only negative feedback I ever get given is I lean a bit too far forward. That's because I low bar squat. So I think bodybuilders are used to seeing high bar squats, quite upright. And I'm like, no, that's rolling down my back. Because I'm sweating. That's
also because you've got quite long legs, because I've got a bit of a forward lean as well, but although I'm not particularly tall, I'm only 5'6", I've got really long quads. So automatically, wherever I put the bar, it doesn't matter if it's high bar or low bar, I will tip forward.
I've got honestly such long femurs, it's unreal. I saw that Becky Dean did a post about that the other day because she had been questioned about not going below parallel on the pendulum. And she was just like, if I go below parallel, because she's got such long femurs, she was like, just lose tension in my legs. What's the point? Like,
yeah. I honestly, people talk about like form is important, but there's also tweaks that have to be made depending on your mechanics.
Yeah,
like
sure.
always. I was always told to squat by every personal trainer that I ever had when I first started lifting, that I had to squat a certain way.
Yeah, same.
And it never worked, ever. I couldn't do it. My body was like, no, just having none of it. So, and it used to make me give up. I just think, do you know what? Fuck it, what's the point? I can't do them. I'm shit at them. And then me and Brett's worked on my form with me.
Yeah.
We played around with where my feet were. I was always really conscious of my forward lean, but he's like, it's not really, really dramatic. It's just a little bit, but he's like, look how long your quads are.
Mm-hmm.
And now my squats come on massively.
I think it's since we both started to look more at powerlifters that our squat has changed. Because powerlifters squat like that because you can hold more. For me, like, my body is just tight. I can hold more weight on my back than if, oh God, I did safety bar squat the other day though, and I just didn't really appreciate that there was going to be no tension in my upper body. So when I was about to fail, Rob was like, what the fuck are you doing? I went to fail and I put my hand on my leg and pushed myself up because you're just holding one side, and he was like, what was that? And I was like, oh my God, I don't know.
I've never tried using a safety bar, but it looks scary.
It's really good, you know, because you are quite upright and your upper body's not involved. So I blew my elbow out because it was too close for the 100 kilos.
Yeah. And
it's just strained and it keeps playing up every now and then. So when it does, just use a safety bar and your legs take all of the load. So it's quite cool. But yeah,
when I'm allowed back in the gym, I might give them a try.
You should do.
It's weird, isn't it? Because a lot of bodybuilders say that squats aren't a bodybuilding exercise.
I've never noticed that I really grow from them.
Yeah. So like especially in off season, like it's one of the lifts that you can progress and you can get stronger on.
I think it really affects everything else. Like the strong squat has given me a very strong leg press.
Yeah. And I would almost rather be stronger in a squat than a leg press.
Yeah.
I don't leg press that heavy. I never have done. But then like I said, everyone's different, aren't they? So I don't think I've ever done above 250 kilos on a leg press. Ever. Ever. Even like, and I can't even remember the last time I did that. Like, when Brett
seeing
gets
as
me
your
doing
squat
leg
is like 170 or something ridiculous now.
Yeah.
How's your 1 rep max going?
Oh well, it's not now, is it?
You are insanely strong. Like my only friends that are that strong and are bodybuilders, not powerlifters, are assisted. Like, just take all the trend, mate. I want to see how far you can take this squat.
Take the trend. Imagine, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't even know
I think you should do it just for the bands.
Oh, could you imagine?
You could do men's physique. You'll be fine.
Oh, no. Got to try and get into wellness first.
I get asked every single day, without fail, someone asks me what steroids I'm taking. And I'm like, it's such a funny thing to ask someone in their off season as well. Because obviously I don't really look, I just look normal. I look like a girl that goes to the gym, but I'm not shredded and looking freaky. So hopefully next time they'll all be asking me that.
Do you know what? I think it's just a question that people throw out there, so sometimes I do get really annoyed by it because I think I post all my training videos, you see how hard I work. I put my transformations up, which are like 5 or 6 years from start to now, and you still think that it's a magic pill. Like no one takes into consideration the time that it takes, the foods that you eat, the way that you train, how long you've been training for. Like it's like that's all dismissed.
I think that it's a compliment though. It means that they think you can't get there naturally, which is a compliment. I think I get asked because I'm quite strong for how slim I am. So they can't correlate the two. Because if you don't have massive muscles, people don't expect you to be stronger. But it's just consistency and anger. Mostly anger.
People always, there's always a comment, isn't there? Like, I kid you not, a few weeks ago I was in the gym, and on exactly the same day, by two different people, one person told me how small I looked, and the other one basically told me how fat I looked.
I had it the other day though. Someone on here told me I looked round. I did
have a little bit of a pump on towards the end of my workout, and someone was like, "Bloody hell, you've bulked up." But then when I first arrived in the gym, someone said to me, "Bloody hell, you've lost weight." Have I?
You're like
honestly, yeah, exactly.
You just have to take those things with a pinch of salt, though.
That's why, yeah, exactly. You just have to not care. And I think it's easier for us probably because we're older and we're wiser and we don't care. Like in my off season, honestly, I couldn't give a shit about how I look. I've got more important things going on in my life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's not to knock anybody that does care, but I think you just get to a point where you're like, I've done my stage time. This is my time to grow now. You have your days where you think, fucking hell, I need to rein it in a little bit. But it's not the be all and end all.
No, it's not. I think that we're really lucky that we only started doing it in our like mid-30s, because imagine being early 20s and then you are literally based solely on what you look like, but you haven't really learned who you are yet. And I think that is because we know who we are because of years and years of not knowing who we are and mistakes. Oh my God. But, you know, because we've got that kind of sense of self, because we are so much older, I don't think we go quite as far down the rabbit hole as some people end up.
I mean, I always say, like, and I feel bad for saying, but I've never, ever, ever struggled coming out of a prep.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, we've both never tried to stay lean, right? We go ham straight away.
No. Even for my photo shoot last year, like, it was 6 weeks after my last show. So 6 weeks after the PCA British Finals, and I could not be arsed to carry on dieting. I didn't eat like an asshole. Yeah. I still had, you know, I still didn't eat cake every day because I still wanted to look nice in my pictures.
Yeah.
But I had no interest in staying shredded at all.
Yeah, like, I kind of, obviously, I think we both hold our composition quite well. Like, we put on weight all over, but I do hold it on my stomach the most. But I still got my body shape. That's what someone said to me today. I put my off season on, and she said, I wish I held my shape like you do. And it's like, honestly, this is my 4th season. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. So every time you just look a bit different, don't you, afterwards? Just that little bit of composition's a bit different as you're growing your muscle.
This year, at this weight, so I was exactly the same weight this year as I was last year off season. But I look so much different this year. I just look leaner.
Yeah, same.
And just look more solid, even though I'm not solid, if that makes sense.
So solid.
If you feel my stomach, it's like
I'm
not solid, but I look. Everything looks firmer than last year.
My just wants to tell you it's because your muscle's getting denser as it matures.
Yeah.
Isn't it? He's like, I just look a bit more athletic this year than I ever have. I've never been this body weight before. And I've never looked, I still look like I go to the gym. I just also look like I love pizza as well. And I'm all right with that. And don't get me wrong, I do have days where I wobble, where I'm like, oh my God, fuck this, I look like shit. But I know if I try and stay lean, I'm going to miss out on muscle mass that I'm trying to grow. And that can't happen.
No.
I want to be world champion. Like, I've got to just do it.
I'm exactly the same. And I just think I probably haven't got that much time left in the sport. I say that, I don't know. There are people 10 years older than me that are still competing. So, but I don't know whether I would want to be competing in 10 years' time.
Can you imagine how tired they are?
I moan about being tired, and then there's somebody that's in their 50s that's just won a bloody show, and I'm like, Jesus.
I know. But it is funny, isn't it? Because it just depends what's going on in your life at that time.
Yeah.
if I don't have kids, I won't be as tired. But I don't know how the women like you actually do it with children as well. Like, even just having the kids' food in the house.
Yeah, that's all. That's not nice on prep. That's selfish of the kids.
How dare they like treats?
How dare they? They should respect the fact that I'm on prep. No, that's do you know what? It's not that bad. I mean, I've always both coaches that I've had, I've stuck to a meal plan Monday to Friday, Saturday, and yeah, well, all week basically, and then I get a cheap meal, an off-plan meal, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I've always been able to enjoy that with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. It is a bit shit when you're preparing your flipping dry turkey mince and asparagus, and Ella wants chips and nuggets, and suddenly that looks really appealing to me. Kids' crappy chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I love them.
I know, yeah.
I love them. I've been dieting for one day and I'm like, fuck, I could get chicken nuggets. No, no.
Last prep, what was my crave? Beans on toast. I was dreaming about it.
Do you know what mine is? A cheese and pickle sandwich. And I haven't had one since I was a kid. But it's always the second thing I eat when I come off stage after a donut is cheese and pickle sandwich. Why? Like,
it's just it's weird, isn't it? I always want beans on toast with cheese on top.
Yeah,
just really comforting.
I can't believe you're 45. Why is everyone looking so good and they're older than me? I just keep telling everyone I'm 40 now because I'm going to be 39 in April. That's 40. I'm 40. And they're like, no, don't be stupid. I'm like, I'm legitimately.
Year count. You can write this year off.
Yeah, do you think that we're literally going to stay 37 forever because we're going to be in lockdown till 2030?
Basically, because this year does not count.
It will be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see what shows go ahead next year. Because obviously, like, my goal show is PCA Worlds. But it needs people to travel from other countries for it to be a Worlds Championship.
Exactly.
So I imagine it's going to be at the end of the year again.
Oh, could you imagine being on prep all year again?
That's how I'm going to choose my shows. So when PCA do know themselves, because obviously they can't just magic up a date. There's no point. But when they do announce it is when I'll choose my shows. Because I also want to do Fit Expo. I think it's going to be a really good federation. I think that the look will be very similar to PCA because
I think so as well.
Darren that is running it, he is from PCA. You kind of get brainwashed, don't you? And I also think it's really good to have another bodybuilding federation that is kind of rivals them. Because I do love the PCA posing, to be fair, but it's just where do you go afterwards when you've won your tub of protein for being world champion?
And it gets stolen.
You'll never stop. Whereas Fit Expo's or Fit X, their prizes are insane. I want the supplement needs sponsorship so badly that it's so expensive, their stuff. But honestly, I've never used such good products before.
Really?
Yeah, really, really decent. Like everything that's in it is like premium and very, very well dosed. But obviously, when you actually start to use a lot of different products, I especially obviously use a lot of anti-stress products because your girl has cortisol levels up here. So yeah, I use the stress products, and then obviously you need your like health stuff like greens and vitamins. I've been taking collagen because I'm on the quest for eternal youth.
No, I'm absolutely shit at taking supplements.
So
you're reading up all this stuff, but I'm like,
I only take them in prep because you're in a good routine, right? But I've actually made a commitment to myself that the whole of lockdown, I'm going to take my supplements every day. As soon as I wake up, I take them before I eat so that I don't forget.
Yeah, like I think in prep I'm okay, but in my off season I'm just like, as soon as I've run out, that's it.
Yeah, I think that getting the Rona made me realise I need to look after my immune system badly.
Yeah. Do you know? I do take I have vitamin C and vitamin D. I'll take those every day.
Yeah.
But that's what else do I take?
I think D3 is so important right now because we just don't get any sunlight. It's really good for your mental health as well, you know. And they did a study that said people that take vitamin D recover faster from coronavirus.
I need to up my dose.
Yes.
I've only been having one a day, and I feel really sad today. I'm getting the bottle.
I have creatine in my oats every day because I'll forget to take it otherwise. Can't taste it. You obviously put your protein in as well.
I don't use creatine. I have whey protein, and that's it.
I think that creatine
I haven't even got BCAAs at the moment.
Yeah, I don't take that. But I think creatine stops me getting DOMS, for sure. It definitely doesn't make me any stronger. Gutted.
No, I think I stopped taking creatine because I was getting really bloated. My stomach, honestly, has just started hating everything this year. And that's the reason I stopped using BCAAs as well, because I was getting really, really bloated.
Well, they've got a lot of sweeteners, haven't they, the BCAAs?
Yeah.
I do love
but creatine is a bit of a weird one. Oh, yeah, I love a sweetener in prep.
I love the sweetener, full stop. I will never drink another full-fat Coke as long as I live. What's the point?
I can't believe it. In prep at one point, I was putting sweetener on my egg whites, thinking it was a pancake.
Do you know what? You are what is wrong with this industry.
Honestly, I convinced myself. Have you never done that in prep where you've convinced yourself something is literally the bollocks, and then you have it in your off season and you're like, what the fuck did I just eat?
Do you know the only thing I eat in both prep and off season is rice cakes with peanut butter and jam and salt. I fucking love it. And that is a show day staple when I used to be allowed to eat on show day. I think that I'm really excited to try a new peak week protocol because last time we didn't fuck around. I just ate my normal diet until Thursday and then I had a big carb up. And then on the show day, no food, or maybe a very small breakfast, but no more food to dry out. But this time, I think we're going to have carb up every day, like less carbs in that big hit and try and trickle it in better because I get so flat so quickly that we think I need more than 1,000 grams. But if I have that in 2 days, can you imagine what I'll look like?
I can't remember what we did last year. I think we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday carbs, back to whatever I was eating, like low carb Thursday, Friday, and then show day was Saturday. I ate very little all day because again I struggle with bloating really bad.
Yeah, me too.
And sometimes I don't know whether it's in my head on show day.
The way you eat that vitamin C backstage, that is full of sweetener.
That was nerves. I think that was nerves. I don't know what that was.
I'm surprised you didn't shit yourself.
I was looking crap.
Do you know that it is the vitamin C loading that makes you shit yourself in peak week? And there's you backstage like, do you want some? No, I'm all right, mate.
I don't want a vitamin C.
I'm just going to have some vodka. Don't mind me.
Yeah, you were on the vodka. I was on the vitamin C. Oh, no.
That was fun.
Backstage. That was fun. That was a good one there.
Yeah. Have you ever had a burger and chips the night before?
I've had Nando's.
Have you?
I had a Nando's. So my first two bros show, the show that they told me I was borderline too muscular. That's probably why. Yeah, to be fair, I did in my pictures. I did look full as fuck. I actually really liked how I looked in my pictures.
I really liked that look on you.
But I think for the bikini category, I was a little bit. But then I did have a Nando's for the night before.
Well, I mean, that's going to be a good look for a PCA show, right? Because they want you to look as big as the house. Yeah.
So I did exactly the same for my PCA Norwich show, the one that I won. And I won that show. Because they go for that. They go for a more muscular look, don't they? More full of sort of muscular look. So, but I think for two bros, and I think the reason we did it was because I looked so flat.
Yeah.
But then I don't think the amount of carbs that I did have, I don't think I needed that many carbs, to be fair. But you live and learn, don't you?
Yeah, it's all a learning process, right?
Exactly. Like we did a peak week as well where literally I had 0 carbs all week.
I've had that
And
peak week as well.
And then the day before, I think I had like 500 grams. But I still look quite flat.
Really?
After
I
that
wonder
one.
why. Yeah, I've had that same peak week, but that's because I did a 10-day prep. So I was obviously pretty lean, and yeah, just no carbs. I think the lowest I've ever been with Laura for carbs is maybe 140 grams or 170. But those days it was like 20 grams maximum. Just trace carbs, not even a carb on its own. That was the worst. But
the lowest carb I ever had was I literally had 40 grams of oats in the morning. That was my carbs.
Do you know what? It's not even worth it. It's not even
Honestly,
worth it.
Got in a spoonful.
Hannah
that was
Baxter
depressing.
said to me, when it gets to 50, below 50, she just swaps it out for something else because it just makes you hungry. Just a small amount of oats. But I do.
It was literally to get me through my training because I train in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's literally just a bit, not that it. Wow. It was just a bit of a boost, but yeah, it makes you so. I'd rather not have it. I'd rather have 0.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Because
it's funny, isn't it?
You don't get that insulin spike, do you?
Yeah. That's the thing. I crashed quite badly from it as well.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. It's horrible.
But I think we're quite good at soldiering on even when we feel faint and dead. We bonded over feeling dead, so
we did.
It's definitely a certain
loads of times.
I think it's definitely a certain personality type that can prep successfully, like, and bring it to that level where you're fainting on the Stairmaster.
There are many people that black out on the Stairmaster and then sort of chill out for 2 minutes and then carry on.
Yeah.
We've got another 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, I always say, you know, that no days off mentality is so damaging, and then that's me in prep. Like, I'll be fine.
I think prep's another level.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I think that mentality in off season's a bit silly because you need your rest in your off season, but I think prep's a bit different.
Yeah.
And although you obviously still need rest in prep, like it is hard to sort of just think, you know what, I don't want to train today. You can do that in off season.
Yeah.
You can sort of you can, you know, think like I'm going to train today. I don't feel like it.
Yeah. It's literally only since lockdown that I've stopped doing that. I've always done that. Oh, fuck it. I don't feel like it today. But because my gym is so social now, you always just want to go and chat anyway. So you end up doing your workout.
I've always been I've never really missed a session, but I do have the flexibility. Like if I do feel like not training, I'll just swap my days. I'll swap my rest days. Like I'm not regimented where I have to have a Monday as a rest day type thing. I'll just see how tired I am, and then if you know I don't want to fucking train on a Friday, then I won't train on a Friday or whatever. So
we've only got 2 minutes left. So you know I'm going to say to you, have you got any final pearls of wisdom for anyone that has stuck with us?
If anyone's struggling in lockdown, DM me. No, yeah. I don't know what use I'll actually be, but I think we are all in it together. As like it sounds really cliche and I hate saying that, but we are.
Yeah, we are.
And we'll all have our struggles. We're all human. And that's what I had to realise today, that I can't be Superwoman all the time as much as I try. I did have a mini breakdown today, and it's fine.
It is fine. You just got to dust yourself off and keep going, right? But you can also give yourself a little period to wallow and to miss training and to eat, because nothing is irreversible, right? You put on a bit too much weight in lockdown, you can diet off. Yeah,
that's it. You've got to be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your words of wisdom, both just now and earlier when I was crying. And I'm going to put this on my IGTV and on my YouTube so people can catch up. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.